Welcome back to the new SEC podcast. I'm Hunter Ziesman, joined by Randall Odette Jr. We got South Carolina traveling to number 7 Ole Miss. This is now second week in a row that South Carolina finds themselves as 2-score dogs, 13.5 right now on this game. They didn't look like 13.5 dogs last week against Alabama, whether that was to South Carolina's credit or to Alabama's detriment on how they played. They found themselves in a really close opportunity to win that game. A bit of a heartbreaker there for them at the end. Ole Miss pulling out a big one over Oklahoma. This is a big one for either team. One for Ole Miss to continue their push for the playoffs. For South Carolina, huge for Beamer as he tries to keep his job there. This is a night game in Oxford. Tough place to play. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a tough one to play. It's obviously they're playing at home, and it might upset some Ole Miss fans. It kind of feels a little bit like last year with Florida. Obviously, Florida was kind of steamrolling it to this point. This is a trap game. And it was almost a trap game last week for Alabama. And you got everything right in front of you, your Ole Miss. You just got to win out. You're in the playoffs. This is a trap game because South Carolina is definitely defensively a lot better than 12.5 points to me. So that's kind of my feeling in this one.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I see the potential for a team to slip up. I'm not sure it's this Ole Miss team right now. Like, they found themselves in a lot of close games, and you can look at that one of two ways. They're in all these close games. Why are you not blowing teams out like Washington State? I've seen a lot of criticisms around that. I kind of want to give the team credit because they're finding ways to win really close games. Like, not every week is a gimme win, just because they're one-score games. So I do think that if this game does go down to the wire, like last week, Ole Miss is the team built for that. We saw South Carolina's O-line get better last week, but Ole Miss has found themselves close on getting some good quarterback pressures. They're kind of middle of the pack in the SEC, where I think that they could maybe contain South Carolina a little bit here.
Yeah, I definitely think they have the ability to contain South Carolina here. And Ole Miss, this season started off with them being at number 21. They've now made this climb up to number 7. And through that climb, right, you got a good Oklahoma win. You got a good Tulane win. You beat Arkansas. You beat Kentucky. To your point, they found ways to win games. And that's all that really matters. You had a 10-point lead on Georgia on the road. And so, like I said, I don't anticipate fully them getting tripped up, but what South Carolina still has in their back pocket is LaNorris Sellers. And I think at any point in time when he's playing, he can be a wild card. We saw him rush for a touchdown against Alabama. We saw him have that massive deep pass to Nick Harbor against Alabama. This Ole Miss defense has shown that they can be passed on. And if Sellers is coming to play in this game, this could be a game going into the fourth quarter. I would still, again, Ole Miss can do something there, but this could be a game going into the fourth quarter.
It could be. It could be. I mean, and it comes behind the O-line being a little bit better. We saw slightly better play calling from Shula last week. I know that's been heavily criticized. I don't think that they've been using the full potential of the team that they have. Sellers right now, second most pressured SEC quarterback, the third most sacked. If Ole Miss can get the pressure on him and take away the opportunity for him to trip up the second and third levels of their defense, then that's a huge part of limiting what he can do. We saw it when Alabama didn't get pressure on him. He was able to force the linebackers into tough, find themselves on their heels, looking at the wrong side of the field and taking off for a 20-yard gain or the touchdown he had there at the end. So, it's all about getting pressure for me. Now, Ole Miss offensively, I like in this game.
Yeah, I definitely like Ole Miss offensively, and they have a similar kind of profile to what Alabama brings with Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. And you could argue a little bit more consistent at the receiver position given Ryan Williams' drops to this point this season. And so, some of the DB play I saw from South Carolina, being able to kind of clamp up and make some big stops with Kilgore, that can happen. Can they do it consistently enough with what Trinidad James has proven to bring? Trinidad James has been able to bring to the point this season with his legs, right? Simpson can run. Trinidad Chambliss has shown he can run a little bit more. So I think that's going to open up the passing lanes even more and kind of create a spy situation when it comes to what they can do offensively against South Carolina.
And I'm almost ready to say that Kewan Lacy is the best running back in the conference. I
think you came at me 2 weeks ago for this. Look at you now.
I know. Because it was like one time could be an exception. 2 times, all right, now we might be seeing a pattern. I think Kewan, Lacy right now, like, it might not all be Ahmad Hart. It's a lot of things happening with Missouri. I like what Kewan Lacy is doing at the extra yards he's getting every single time he touches the ball. They're touching him. He's getting 1 or 2 more or even more than that. And that's helping this team be one of the best teams in the country on third down because they're in so many short yardage situations. 10th in the nation. They're converting 50% on third down right now. South Carolina, 120th in third down percent conversion allowed. I don't know how South Carolina is going to get off the field enough here. And they're not built for a shootout. So I don't see how they're going to compete when both sides of the ball. I'm looking at Ole Miss as the better team.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. And he's had 4 touchdowns over the last 2 games, 2 against Georgia, 2 against Oklahoma. Playmaker. Kewan Lacy's that guy. He's that guy. He's that guy. And so, I mean, for South Carolina, we've talked about keys for them to win this game. It's really the reverse of what you just said. Give your defense some rest. Beamer said that in his press post-conference a couple weeks ago. Give your defense some rest. Have some sustained offensive drives. It's hard to do when you struggle to convert on third down. For Ole Miss, play your game offensively, get more pressure from that D-line. We were recognizing a lot of those D linemen week 1, week 2, week 3 on our team of the week. Let's get Xavier back in the mix. Let's get some of these guys, Princely back in the mix. Final prediction for me, like I said, I like Ole Miss in this one. I'm going to say 30-14. Thoughts from you, Hunter?
I got 30-13. Ole Miss.
Oh wow. Okay.
Here. Yeah.
we didn't talk about our scores prior to recording this, but that's funny.
Yeah, we both got the under here. And I think it's because Ole Miss may be a little bit more calculated here on their drives. Take the air out of the ball. They got good, the good running game. So yeah, I like Ole Miss.
All right. That's it. All right. So, hey, Rebels fans, Gamecocks fans, let us know what you think in the comments. This has been another fun one. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you just got to get past this team. Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina. Keep rolling and see if you can find yourself in a spot. It's a little better than where you are today. I'm Randall Ledet Jr. We got Hunter Ziesman, and as always, it's a new SEC podcast.